don't stop now. Let's go now. In the front now. In the back now. Let's go now. Ready?
Woo! Man! So I'm gonna take Mr. to go see Shantae Moore this weekend. That's right. I'm going to take my people gifts. I love being able to do that because they always, when I tell you always, whenever I see them, they have a package and or card for me. Every time. It makes me sick. This is one of those times that I get to have something for them, so that makes me feel good. But what I did want to discuss was, I'm new at this perimenopause thing, so I was wondering, I was like, winters is like tomorrow. So I wonder how that's going to go down, because there were times where I felt like I could get naked, go sit in the freezer, particularly in the mornings when I wake up. But I felt like I could go and sit in the freezer and still not be cooled off. Okay. So I was like, well, I'm going to see, because I can't imagine with me having historically always been the cold one, even in the summer. I'm always freezing, you know, telling people, you know, to put some drawers on the windows and, you know, roll your window up, turn the air off. I'm the person who, you know how in the summer when you step out of your car and your car cooks while you're in the store, and when you come out, people either roll their windows down or open their door and let the steam come out. Like you can visually see, physically visually see the heat waves, literal heat waves. Well, I'm the person that will get in the car and sit in it and be like, oh, that feels so good. So with this new experience that my body is going through, I was like, I'm gonna see how it works out with the Hawk. I've always known the Hawk to be a pervert. He'll come up under your dress. Well, don't even wear a dress when it's that cold outside anyway, but yeah, there are flurries right now. It's snowing already. Some people have already gotten 6 inches of snow, but that hasn't happened, you know, at us. But so I was like, well, I wonder how this is gonna go down. I can't even bet on that fight. I don't, you know, between she and the Hawk, how's that gonna work out? This is a sweater, this is not a coat. I didn't need my coat. The most I might have needed was a scarf, that, by the way, that my sister gave me. But all I needed was a scarf. And matter of fact, let me turn this heat down in the car. Really? My bad, I had to deal with these foods. Safety first, you know. Well, actually, Mr. named her. Named the PMS, named her Ruby. And I decided to name the perimenopause Pyriah. So I was like, what can be like Perry? You know, there's no, I don't know any name. I can't think of any name off the top of my head as Perry, but I thought Pyriah, you know, that's a fish with teeth that will bite and eat you. And then I thought of the bite of the winter cold, the Hawks. Then I thought of the Hawk's bite. And then I thought about Mariah Carey, who is a unnecessarily ridiculous diva, or what diva has become. You know, what a diva was originally meant to be was what the queens like Diana Ross and such did, but you self-proclaimed new age bitches fucked all that up. So diva is a whole nother animal in this day and age. But anyway, so with the kind of diva that Mariah is, no chill whatsoever. So the irony of no chill. So I figured I would call her Pyriah. I just turned the air all the way off. So now, even in the cold, I cannot imagine wearing. Whew. I just cracked the windows. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. See, I'm wiser now. This is actually a tank underneath this fake fur sweater. That's how extreme it gets. I'm still hot. I literally just rolled the windows up so that you could hear me. My morning hot flashes have evolved to where during the night I'm like pretty much cold the whole night but sweating. So I'm actually having cold sweats in the night and then wake up to multiple hot flashes. It's advanced to that. This is some bull. I'm back. These things can last from anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And 5 minutes is a long time to be on hellfire from your inner core out. I apologize to all the old ladies that I used to either laugh at or think were exaggerating, or, you know, thinking you just a drama queen or what have you. I apologize. I'm talking about the ones that were fanning and carrying on, and I didn't get it. I'm going when I get done giving my people a hug and these gifts, I'm going to get Mr. some turtlenecks. He needs some new turtlenecks. He has to get, you know, his annual set of turtlenecks. And I'm going to get me a bunch of cardigans. I get the concept of the cardigans right now, you know, but because cardigans still in my head mean old lady, I'm gonna try to get all kinds that you can zip. That's easier to handle anyway than buttons. So yeah, I'm gonna give me a whole wardrobe of zip front cardigans and jackets. Get him some turtlenecks. The Hawk is no match for Pyriah because she bites back. Yeah, I'm about to get cold again. Not freezing cold though, but I'm about to get cold again. And when I was younger, I didn't have friends my age. Like in my 20s, all my friends were menopausal. Friends that I had that were my age called me ma and grandma and stuff like that. Or if they call me ma, or if they had a baby, they would call me the baby. I would be the baby's grandmama. But we're the same age though. But that's really how it was, and people accept. You know, it was difficult to grasp onto initially, but once people knew me, they were like, "That's her. She's that, you know, chick. I don't know if I would call it mature." Well, that's what it is. I just don't want it to sound like it's above anyone. It wasn't above anyone. I just made very, very, very different decisions for my life, as I still do. So, ooh, nasty wreck over there. So our traffic gotta slow down because there's a wreck over there. That's nasty too. I hope that's cleaned up when I get back. And there's the ambulance and the tow truck. Yeah, the point I was making was, like, there's one of my friends that I was closest to, there's the little things that she wouldn't do. Like, she always made sure that she was able to, she had a tank underneath her. If she had a long sleeve shirt, she would be able to take it off and tie it around her waist or neck back then. People tied around their neck, yuppie style. And when we would go out, like she went out to the places, actually, she'd rather go out to the, you know, the hip hop clubs, you know, the regular dance clubs. I always wanted to go either hand dancing or stepping or something, because that's where they played old, you know, Motown, classic Motown, Dusty's music. And that's what I was into, even though I didn't grow up with it. I remember the first time I took her to, in DC, I took her to the Eclipse on a Tuesday. So anybody, any person over the age of probably 60 that was hand dancing in DC. And I had just turned old enough to legitimately get in a club or drink. But I still used to go to those clubs. They didn't card me. And matter of fact, once I went regularly enough, they just knew me. So, but anyway, I remember when I took her to the Eclipse in DC, and she looked at me like most of them used to look at me when I first started going there. You know, old people, old enough to be my grandparents, would look at me and be like, what do you know about this? But they would see me get out there and dance, and they would be like, oh snap. But that's like, that brain fuck people. Like, how does she know how to do to Lindy Hop or hand dance? How does she know how to do that? And she is 20. Like, where did that come from? One of my friend's sons, who was actually older than me, he was like 2 years older than me, made a pass at me at one point. And I thought it wasn't real life, you know, because I felt like he was my son. I was like, boy, if you don't get out from around here with that little old boy. And he 2 years older than me. I took that long ass route to say that she did special things when we went out. Like, she wouldn't drink hard liquor. And I mean, well, she did at first. She stopped drinking hard liquor. And when she did have a drink, an alcoholic drink, whatever it was, she didn't drink hard liquor. She wouldn't drink shots, because that would trigger her hot flashes. And she also would never dance 2 dances in a row. Like, she would dance with somebody, but she wouldn't dance 2 dances in a row. She couldn't. I get it now, but I was like, I don't get that. And just to give you a inkling of how odd I was, you know, my life experience is when we did go out, the younger guys my age, in their 20s, would be hollering at her. And the middle-aged professional men and sugar daddies would be trying to holler at me. That's just always been the case. Well, I take that back. A couple of young dudes would try, but you know, they would get 4 words into it and get shut down. I ain't never had time. I don't never make time. Matter of fact, let me throw that in there for you little young girls, little fast self. You know how I avoided being abused by no good ass, sorry ass dudes? I didn't give them the time of day. Now, I know some of you gonna come on and that's a whole nother video. Yeah, there were certain things, certain precautions that she would take to avoid triggering hot flashes. So I didn't hit a home run on my sister's gifts. Boo. But I did on my brother. Yeah, if I do say so myself. But as I was saying, so with my girlfriend, it wasn't until we went to brunch one weekend that I looked across the table and she was dripping from both the nose and the chin. That I looked at her and shit got real. like I recognized that she would have been dealing with some symptoms. Man. And even then, from what I know now, even then there was no way I would have been able to relate to it. Just not even no empathy. Sympathy was as good as I was gonna be, as anybody can do, you know. But it is always a good thing to get some information, get as much information as you can. Talk to people going through it, because it's bad enough that you're not gonna be ready, whatever the case is, whatever it is, whatever your path in that journey is, you're not gonna be ready. But it's good to talk to people, or you know, listen to people that know a couple of things about it. You know, for instance, where I used to work, again, I was the youngest one there, but it was like I was their age because of the mentality. So it was, we're all like-minded. The only huge difference is they are going through some experiences I know nothing about. You know, I've always been cold. I've been the one that's been cold. And so after I tore my ligaments, I had some experience with night sweats. And so one of the ladies there, the office manager, who I love, shout out to Sharon, you know, she suggested to me that I flip my pillow at night. And that was a great little piece of advice. So let me throw that out there too as a little piece of advice. She told me to flip my pillow, because the other side of your pillow you have been laying on, so it's still cool. And I was like, that was a good idea. So that's what I did for that experience. And that only happened for like a week or two. But in that week or two, I was like, this is so weird for that to be happening, you know, while I'm in bed at night. And she said, wait till you have 20 a day. And again, my young mind went to, girl, bye. You know, I was like, but I actually verbally responded. I was like, 20 a day? Like, that didn't even make sense to me. 20? Really? Okay, whatever. And she didn't change the number. That was the average, and she was sticking to it. Yes, 20 a day. And now that I'm thinking about it, even then, that was just a night sweat experience as a result of injury and or medication. That still did not touch what a hot flash really is. Man. And you black girls, if you have the opportunity, you know, see what you can do medicinally for your symptoms when you become of age, because you know we don't a lot of white women go to the doctor and they get their HRT, and that's cool, but black women tend to suffer through it just because you're strong enough to suffer through it. And that doesn't stop at perimenopausal symptoms. I think that a lot of us need to take care of ourselves so that we will be able to take care of other people. So if there's something you can do, and I'm not specifically suggesting HRT, I'm just using that in comparison to privileged females who have the opportunity and the resources, and so therefore do take advantage so that they don't have to suffer through the symptoms. Young sisters, when you start becoming of age, you know, start doing your research and looking into options so that you can hopefully skate past some of the most disturbing what is that, symptoms. Grand opening, what is this? I'm doing too much today. I'm just doing it all. But again, when I saw that sweat drip, and I mean drip, from her body, I was like, whoa, I'm finna be in for it in a couple of decades. Don't you hate when you get to the store and you gotta pee? Especially if you peed just before you left home. It makes no sense. What do I have, a prostate or something?
That's where those start nights.